Okay, the claim that I will be responding to today is that methods that contain stem cells without using a fetus are much more effective than those that do. The secondary claims that the advocate uses to support his major claim are that there are many sources to locate and receive stem cells, and two, stem cells can be taken by the patient. The first subclaim that I will be refuting against is that there are many sources to locate and receive stem cells. The evidence that the advocate uses for this is that IVF, in vitro fertilization, generate many and use stem cells. This is true. It is easy for the IVF to give embryos to stem cells research when they are no longer needed with consent from the donor. But this piece of evidence isn't relevant to the claim because it doesn't show in any way how donating embryos is a better method or even a method in stem cell research. This piece of evidence is only relevant to the subclaim, which is about locating stem cells, but neither this piece of evidence nor the first subclaim is relevant to the claim. The second piece of evidence that the advocate uses to support his first subclaim is that fluids around the fetus contain stem cells. In this piece of evidence, the advocate demonstrates the facility to extract these embryonic stem cells by simply extracting fluids. According to the National Institute of Health Resource for Stem Cell Research, this is among the simplest and most effective ways of acquiring stem cells. But recall, the advocate's claim is that the method to obtain stem cell research without a fetus aren't very effective, and in this case, he is supporting the opposite of this piece of evidence. He is saying that the method of using a fetus is effective, so he is contradicting himself. The second subclaim that the advocate uses to support his claim is that stem cells can be taken by the patient. The first piece of evidence that he uses to support this is that of eliminating the need for donors. The advocate states as an inference and does not give any evidence or expert citation. Alina Catano, PhD, Director of the Center of Stem Cell Research at the Department of Pharmacological Sciences at the University of Milan, explains the importance of donors in order to have advancement in medical treatment. She says, we have a lot of ideas and a lot of hypotheses, and we have to test those hypotheses to come up with evidence and show results of these stem cells can really generate. It is a mistake that the advocate completely rules out the need of donors for stem cell research donors because they are needed to make productive stem cell advancements. The second piece of evidence for this subclaim is that the body doesn't reject treatment. According to the International Society of Stem Cell Research, as soon as the cells leave your body, they may be subjected to a number of manipulations that could change the characteristics of cells. The cells may become contaminated with bacteria, viruses, or other pathogens that could cause disease. The procedure to either remove or inject the cells also carry risks from the introduction of infection to damaging the tissue into which they are injected. So just because stem cells come from your own body, it doesn't mean that your body will accept them. The body could reject them because of the procedure they have gone through. So that rules out this piece of evidence because we know that stem cells taken from a person can be rejected by the donor's body. So it is wrong that the advocate states as a fact when evidence shows that it's not. In conclusion, the advocate explains how there are better methods to contain stem cells that are not from a fetus, but yet he does not give us evidence of other alternative methods. The only method he uses for his claim is about fetuses fluids, which is, as I explained, didn't end up supporting his claim, but rather diminished it. The advocate could have shown evidence of alternative stem cell methods, which there are many. For example, adult stem cells, cord blood stem cells, embryonic stem cells, and induced pluripotent stem cells. With this, he could have proved a point, but he failed to do so. The advocate in his speech made a lot of inferences and failed to convince because of his sources were irrelevant. He holds to the ground, he avoids alternative solutions, and has misleading information.
Okay, all the structural things are fine. On the first point, when you're talking about the in vitro fertilization, and you kind of accept this premise there, but then there's an argument about whether or not it's relevant. You need a clearer explanation about how the advocate's argument is being interpreted by you and why your response explains it away. It just seemed to me like it was a series of claims that were strung together that were not very clearly explained. And part of the problem, I think, is that you're reading to us instead of talking to us and explaining as you go along. You need to do a little bit more of that explanation. I did understand the argument that you were making, and I thought that it was pretty reasonable that the advocates, in essence, contradicting themselves when they argue that we can access the stem cells from amniotic fluids, from the fetal sac, and that's fairly easy, which seems to contradict the position that they were taking, so I understand there's some inconsistency on that. On the second point, you did a good job labeling your argument there. Again, I think the idea that's going on here needs to be clarified a little bit more. You had some good evidence on this point that suggested that we need this general, all the different access ways to stem cells in order to be able to do adequate research. Which I think is a good counterclaim, but I think it needs to be directed a little bit more at what the advocate was arguing on this point. And then you do suggest that there's a contradiction, again, on the issue of whether or not it's safe, if these things can actually have complications themselves, then it doesn't really prove the advocate's point. I don't know that it rules out the point, that seems to be the phrase that you use, but it certainly puts a major qualifier on it, and it might be a significant enough qualifier that the advocate's inference is not really reliable. Way too much reading. At the end, you did a little bit more critique of the speech than you did of refuting the speech, but I really like the summary at the end, because your exit summary kind of says, here are the points I'm trying to make, and that was actually a little bit clearer as to how we're supposed to look at everything that you said than sometimes when you were saying those things. All right, thank you.